Why are you heading back to the city? We won't sodding find Branka going that way.
Dark spawn! Very well. I will not fail. It has begun. I shall do it, as you say. I shall do it. Quickly, we must fight! Very well. Don't give them the advantage! Destroyed to see you now. I am done. What now?
Some type of beast ahead. Be careful.
It has begun. Ha! Best be wary. There is no glory in bloodshed. The Darkspawn have sensed us. It shall be. I shall do it. Now we go back, as you say. Very well. It is over.
Well, aren't you sweet in a tent?
Here they come!
Don't give them the advantage! It has begun. As you say.
to be merciful. Alright, bad notice then.
This looks like the right way out. Horton Tig. It won't be long now.
As you say. It's a trap! The Darkspawn have sensed us. Very well. Now you fall! You shall be done.
Agents!
Very well. As you say.
All you've got? I never liked this part.
I shall do it. Shall be done. Done. As you say. Very well.
You can smell the breath from here.
I shall do it.
Make a preserver. Be careful!
So I am led to understand that the sister is a follower of this maker.
Am I the sister? Oh, that's so cute. It's like you're my big brother. Or sister. Or whatever.
I am a creature of stone. I rather doubt that we would be related in any shape or form.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. Don't you think that people can be related in spirit?
I notice that humans tend to believe in a great number of things that are not true, even when given evidence to the contrary.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what faith is all about, Shale.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what gullibility is all about.
So I am gullible now.
I take it we are no longer sisters in spirit.
It shall be done.
You should run while you can.
As you say, it has begun. Look there, coming back. It's a trap. It shall be done. Give them the advantage. As you say. Look there, a cunning trap.
Here comes trouble. You should run while you can.
Let's get on with it.
I shall do it. It's a trap!
I think we've
to
alerted
all
something to our
pigeons.
presence.
Be careful now!
If they know it's good for.
It is done.
I shall do it. We must fight it. Let us do it quickly. It's begun. Be careful now. Very well. No glory! Foolish! Now we do battle. Shall be done.
So you know.
What now?
By the tits of my ancestors, Warton Tig. I never thought I'd see this place in the flesh. I can see Bronca all over this place. She always took chips from the walls at regular intervals when she was in a new tunnel. Checked their composition. If she was still here, though, she'd have sentries out by now. This was Carradin's home Tig. He was an Orton before he got raised to Paragon. Even stayed here when he could have had his own house. I guess he didn't want to move his people to Bunamar. The City of the Dead. Carradin built it to honor the Legion of the Dead, but it was more like a sodding mausoleum than anything. Of course, that was all before he built the anvil. After that, he was the city's pet genius until he angered the king and fell into disfavor. No, there was a Tig here. The Orton Tig. Bunamar is north and west of here. But that's not important. Or at least I hope it isn't. The City of the Dead is known as the Dead Trenches since the Darkspawn conquered it. Much of the Legion was destroyed when the fortress fell. No one does. At the time, Orton Tig was almost part of the main city. No one bothered to mark where the anvil was stored. Now it's impossible to know if it's been moved or even destroyed. But trust me, if we find it, we find Branka. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I may have a cause to apologize to the sister.
Apologize? For what?
For suggesting that the sister was gullible for believing in things which were not real.
Oh, that! I'd already forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I suppose it would offer some comfort to believe that things occur according to some grand purpose. All those years I spent in Honleith, unable to move, it would be comforting to think there was some reason for it.
Do you know there wasn't? Perhaps the Maker did it to bring you here, to us. You once said that you had no purpose. Perhaps you are simply looking for it in the wrong place.
Perhaps. I shall think on this.
Very well. I shall do it. It is begun. More the fools they! No quarter shall be given. As you say, it shall be done. It is begun. Of all the blasted. I shall do it. It is begun. Now we do battle. As you say. It shall be done. Come, let us end this. Very well.
Don't
More
look now!
darkspawn.
Darkspawn!
It is begun.
Run in fear!
I shall do it. Very well. Careful! It is begun. Best be wary. The task is finished. As you say. Get off! I shall do it. It is begun. It shall be done.
You will squish satisfyingly beneath my foot.
Enemies approaching.
Here they come.
As you say. Very well.
Fuck! This is a waste of time.
I shall do it.
Your head will make lovely crunching noises, idiot.
I am done. I shall do it. It shall be done. Quickly, we must fight! Very well. As you say. I shall do it. Missed!
There's nothing for you here. It's mine. I've claimed it. You've come to take my claim. You surfaces are all alike. Thieving scoundrels. Well, I found it first.
Bah, he's a bloody scavenger. Good as sod and gone.
Begone, you! You'll bring the Dark Ones back, you will. They'll crunch your bones.
Word has it you can only survive down here by eating the Darkspawn dead.
It burns when it goes down. It burns! It's my claim, not yours. Crunch your bones!
Very well. It is begun. It shall be done. Quickly, we must fight! I shall do that. As you say. I will not fall.
You forced our hand!
'Tis begun. Very well.
Go away! This is mine! Only I gets to plunder its riches! No! No talking! You leave my territory! You won't take anything from Ruck? You won't take his shiny worms or pretty rocks? Oh, Ruck not mind that, maybe. Yes, Ruck's my name. I do not hear it much, so sometimes I like to speak it out loud. Ruck! 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 No. No filter. No mother. No warm blanket and stew and pillow and soft words. Ruck doesn't deserve good memories. No. She did not know. Not what I did. I was very angry, and then someone was dead, and they wanted to send Ruck to the mines. If I went to the mines, she would know. Everyone would know. So I came here instead. Once you eat, once you takes in the darkness, you not miss the light so much. You know, do you not? Ruck sees. Yes, he sees the darkness inside you. Gray like the stone, guardian against the darkness. When the Dark Ones were here, I kept to the shadows. They don't look in the shadows, not if you're quiet, not if you eat their flesh. Then the Dark Ones think you're one of them. They leave you alone, but now they're gone. The crawlers, they used to eat the smallest Dark Ones. Now the crawlers go hungry. I think they went south, far to the south. That is where the Dark Master calls them.
He's talking about the Archdemon, huh?
After the Dark Master awoke, he called his children and they all went. I wanted to go too and gaze upon his beauty. He stopped calling. I wish I could go see him, but Ruck is a coward. Too long ago, I must think. 5 years? 6? Ruck no longer remembers the smells and sights of the city. I will answer your questions. Bits of things, but only bits. The crawlers took almost everything. They take things of steel and things of paper. They take the shinies and the words.
Paper and words? That sounds like someone was taking notes. Do you think Bronca camped here?
They bring to the great nest, the nest they makes for the eggs. They puts the shinies inside, they do. Ruck has some things from the camp. Sometimes the webs. You give him shiny coins, no?
Looks like that bone picker is living in Bronca's old camp. Did you see the marks on the floor? There were a lot of people and fires there once. Those must be Bronca's papers he said were taken by the spiders. Nothing that fragile would be left from the Tig.
We must not exhaust our supplies.
Battle approaches.
As you say. It shall be done. I shall do it.
Too slow.
It has begun. As you say.
You have restored that which was cut asunder, and revealed my hiding place. Speak your intention. Seek you vengeance or reward? My deception was convenience, not cowardice. A fight you want. A fight you shall have!
Very well. It's begun. It shall be done. I shall do it. It has begun. As you say. It shall be done.
What? No more? Oh. Let's crush them all quickly, shall we?
Very well. I shall do it. More the fools they!
Enough!
It has begun.
Say your prayers!
I shall do it.
Great job!
Finished. The task is finished.
Does every creature have a death wish?
As you say. Very well. I shall do it.
Is that all you've got?
It is begun. It shall be done. Away with you! Quickly, we must fight! Very well. I shall do it. It has begun.
I never liked
Shall be done. Very well, I shall do it. It shall be done. No quarter shall be given.
That's it. Prepare to be crushed.
It shall be done. Careful!
Feathered fiend.
I shall do it. It's begun. Come, let us end this.
You will squish satisfyingly beneath my foot.
Here come some beasties for us to play with.
I shall do it. Very well.
Harbin wins again.
As you say.
Feel that?
I got it!
It is over.
Bronca was thinking about me. I knew she still cared. Old softy. Looks like the Dead Trenches is our next stop then. They say the Darkspawn nest there. Whole herds of them. But if that's where Bronca went, then that's where I'm going.
I see them. Darkspawn.
I shall do it.
It is done.
We must gain the advantage!
The Legion gives no quarter. Send them to the stone!
That was a good fight. It shall be done. As you say. There is no glory in bloodshed! It shall be done. It is begun. If we must fight, let us do it quickly. It shall be done. I shall do it.
You will smash things firmly beneath my foot.
Very well. By the Maker!
Let's see what your innards look like.
Shall be done. It is begun. I shall do it.
This place makes my skin crawl.
Watch out! Shall be done. It is begun. As you say. Don't give them the advantage! Shall be done. Let us end this. I shall do it.
Scream for mercy!
As you say.
Well, I suppose that could have been worse.
Be careful.
Well, Grey Warden, I'll give you credit for backbone. You've dug a line through the spawn. Still no sense in your head, but you've got skill. We die in the eyes of our brothers so we can fight without fear. It offers redemption for the promise of the greatest sacrifice. That's all you need to know. To say more invites judgment, or worse, imitation. Why? The other kingdoms only care when the Darkspawn march in the light. But they are always here, always pushing. Your nightmare is my everyday. Our resolve gives you a rest between blights. A surge on the surface would give us a break. When the time comes, I'll care for a good dwarven reason. Sod the rest. Like dusters, I've heard of respect. Never seen it. And if it exists, it wasn't meant for me. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the anvil. And endless lyrium. Let us know if you find any paragons. You're as likely to find a dozen as one. And Warden, watch yourself. Drunks make poor allies.
It shall be done. As you say. Missed! It has begun. Enough! Very well. There is no glory in bloodshed! It has begun. As you say. Very well. By the Maker! It shall be done. It has begun. Trap. As you More the fool's days! What now?
Trap right ahead.
It has begun. Very well. It shall be done. It has begun.
Let's end this.
As you say. As you say. Very well.
Take that. I see. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is. Spoil sport. I think they're lovely. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
It shall be done. It is begun. It shall be done. I shall do it. Very well. Damn you! It has begun, as you said. Good, another down. Watch out! Very well. Blast! There is no glory in bloodshed! It is begun, it shall be done. Look there, a cunning trap. Very well. Don't give them the advantage! It's begun. It shall be done. Very well. We get to the good part. There, more of the fiends ahead. It has begun. If we must fight, let us do it quickly.
Feathered fiend.
I am done. Shall be done. I shall do it. It is begun. As you say. Very well. I shall do it. It shall be done. As you say. I shall do it. Very well.
I never liked this part.
It is begun. Our skill has won the day. Do not let them overwhelm us. Very well. Back! Blast! I shall do it. Quickly, we must fight!
You will squish satisfyingly beneath my foot.
Very well. No quarter shall be given. I shall do it.
This is a waste of time.
There is no glory in bloodshed! It has begun.
First day they come and catch everyone.
As you say.
Second day, they beat us and eat some from meat. Fifth day they return and it's another girl's turn. Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew.
I shall do it. More the fools they! Very well. The task is finished. Finished.
Eighth day we hated as she is violated. Ninth day she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast. First day they come and catch everyone. Second day, they beat us and eat some from meat. Third day, the men are all gnawed on again. Fourth day, we wait and fear for our fate. Fifth day, they return and it's another girl's turn. Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew. Eighth day, we hated as she is violated. Ninth day she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast. First What is this? A human? Bland and unlikely. Feeding time brings only kin and clan. I am cruel to myself. You are a dream of strangers' faces and open doors. First day they come and catch everyone. Corruption. The men did that. Their wounds festered and their minds left. They are like dogs, marched ahead, the first to die. Not us, not me, not Laren. We are not cut. We are fed. friends, and flesh, and blood, and bile, and all I could do was wish Laren went first. I wished it upon her so that I would be spared, but I had to watch. I had to see the change. How do you endure that? How did Branka endure? What they are allowed to do, what they think they must. And Branka, her lover, and I could not turn her. Forgive her. But no, she cannot be forgiven. Not for what she did. Not for what she has become. I will not speak of her, of what she did, of what we have become. I will not turn. I will not become what I have seen. Not Laren, not Branka. She became obsessed. That is the word, but it is not strong enough. Blessed stone, there was nothing left in her but the anvil.
I shall do it. It shall be done.
Excuse me while I do my happy dance.
We tried to escape, but they found us. They took us all, turned us.
Impossible.
Bunamar. I thought it would have fallen into dust by now.
We must not exhaust our supplies. Very well. I shall do it. Quickly, we must fight!
Let's make this quick. Make her preserve us.
You like that?
Still doomed, just so you know.
Good, another down. Very well. Have you no concern for your own existence? I shall do it. Our skill has won the day.
The men, they kill. They're merciful. But the women, they want to touch, to mold, to change until you are filled with them.
It is over.
They took Laren. They made her eat the others, our friends. She tore off her husband's face and drank his blood. And while she ate, she grew. She swelled and turned gray, and she smelled like them. They remade her in their image. Then she made more of them. Brood mother.
Very well.
Bite off your arm! Let me at him!
Very well. I shall do it. As you say. Very well.
Defend yourself!
Careful! There is no glory in bloodshed! As you say. It is begun. As you say. It shall be done. For the fools they! It is begun.
Push them back!
It shall be done.
Be careful! Back!
It shall be done. Don't give them the advantage! As you say. It is begun. It shall be done.
Ready! Damn it! I hate this part!
You will be slaughtered. It will hurt.
As you say.
Damn it! I hate this part!
It shall be done.
That's where they come from. That's why they hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
I shall do it.
I'm only asking because you know. Right.
If Branka is anywhere, this has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka, by the stone, I barely recognized you.
Ogren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Ogren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, So an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Enrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. Then what is your involvement in this? Why would a surfacer be interested in dwarven politics? You must have a patron. A highly placed patron. And they must want something in particular. Now, what might that be? I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very darkspawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void, the means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Canon himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caradon's maze, and out to where the anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon. I needed people to test Caradon's traps. There's no way to break through except by trial and error. I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespeth. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed.
There, more of the fiends ahead. Very well. It has begun. We must gain the advantage!
Time to be crushed.
I shall do it. As you say.
Come and get it!
Very well. It shall be done. I shall do it.
She shouldn't have gone. She was pledged to me. She swore she'd do whatever it took to find the anvil. There was no other choice. Most of them were dying of the taint already. But some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh, dark spawn to test the traps. They could still serve me. Let me find the anvil. It was the only way.
I see them. Darkspawn.
It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. Best be wary! As you say. Come, let us end this. It shall be done. It is begun. As you say. Very well. I shall do it. As you say. No quarter shall be given.
You have no idea how they carried on, holding my hand and begging to die. They had pledged me their loyalty. They had no right to fight me. They say your order is renowned for its wits as well as its brawn.
Well, aren't you sweet?
Clansman, there's something about this place. It makes people despair.
It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. If we must fight, let us do it quickly. It shall be done. As you say. I shall do it. It has begun. More the fool's day! Very well. No! It shall be done, as you say. Very well. I shall do it.
Let's crush them all quickly, shall we?
I shall do it.
Time to get messy.
It shall be done, as you say. It has begun.
I never liked this part.
It's a trap! Look there, a cunning trap.
Time for some exercise.
Something else.
As you say. I shall do it. It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. As you say. Let us end this. Enemies approaching! It is begun. There is no glory in bloodshed! It is begun. Very well.
Make him praised!
No, I cannot. More enemies ahead. It is begun. Watch out! Very well. As you say. It shall be done. Best be wary. No quarter shall be given. I am done. Finished. The task is finished.
Feel that?
Now we do battle.
Move aside.
I shall do it.
Are you done yet?
What now? Very well. Careful! If we must fight, let us do it quickly.
Defend yourself! Enough!
The task is finished. I am done.
Into trouble!
It shall be done. As you say.
That's one for me!
Sure thing.
Feel stuck. Fine.
Finish. It is over.
What now?
That's what I like to see.
Finished.
My name is Caradon. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Caradon, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The anvil of the void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. The Darkspawn were pressing in. Originally, I only took volunteers, the bravest of souls, willing to trade their very lives for the chance to defend their homeland. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies. All of them were to be given to the anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes. I, trapped forever in my own creation, a fitting punishment, I suppose. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Bronca, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with darkspawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Caradon? Good. That seems right.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
No! You will not take it! Not while I still live!
Bronca, don't throw your life away for this. Just give her the blasted thing. She's confused. Maybe once she calms down, we can talk to her.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caradin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! But, my friend, you must help me! I cannot stop her alone!
Let's crush them. More quickly, shall we?
Very well. I shall do it. We must fight. Let us do it quickly.
We don't know what we're capable of.
There is no glory in bloodshed! As you say. Damn you! Very well. If we must fight, let us do it quickly. I shall do it.
You don't know what I'm capable of.
Be careful!
Very well.
Let's make this quick.
It is begun. Watch out! There is no glory in bloodshed!
You don't know what I'm capable of.
Very well.
Listen to me. Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Caradin?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shell. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it. Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden? For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. It is done. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. That would please me, human. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in our Tumsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
Well, that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshers have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Caradon was trapped in the body of a golem. This warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Caradon forged a crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
I would like to believe Ogren's word, but it's well known the Grey Warden is Balin's hireling.
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Ortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Caradon choose?
Why would a Paragon trust someone who knows nothing of us with such a decision? This is preposterous.
We've argued in these chambers for too long. The will of the Paragon is that the Grey Warden decide.
At last, this farce is ended, and I can take my rightful place on my father's throne.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
Do you acknowledge me as king?
I cannot defy a Paragon. The throne is yours, King Balin.
Then as my first act as king, I call for this man's execution. Guards, seize him! You know better than anyone the war facing us, Warden. Orzammar cannot afford to be divided. Anyone undermining my reign is serving only the Darkspawn. I will return to my palace to gather my generals and prepare our forces for the surface. I will see you there, Warden. You have my gratitude for all you have done for me. You have proven yourself and more, Warden. Without your aid, I would not have taken this throne so smoothly or so soon. My generals are already preparing for a mission to the surface. When you have need of us, you shall have every able-bodied dwarf in Orzammar. Since you did more than I expected, I offer a personal reward as well. This was a mall favored by my brother Trian. Take it with you, as a reminder of your ties to Orzammar. Now, I have much to do. If there is nothing else... Good luck, Warden. May we both crush our enemies. There are people waiting, Warden. I must see to them. Thanks again, Warden.
The throne restored and legends put to rest. Incredible. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly. Nay, our place is down here. When you break the Blight, and you've got the skill, we'll make sure they have nowhere to retreat. You'll have us indirectly. That's more than any surfacer can say. You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Orton Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Orton. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Long live King Bear.
My name's Orta. After the old Orton house. They gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Orton money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me. And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the Tig is still there, it must have something. House Orton will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official?
News of the hour. Balin is king. Future of Orzammar secure.
A trust Vala, my nug-wrangling friend.
You've returned. With all the excitement over the new king, I never expected you to remember my poor son. Did you learn anything about my ruck? What is it? Is he dead? Oh, please don't torment me. Crazy. Oh, ancestors, save him. I've heard of this. Lost soldiers turning on each other, eating darkspawn flesh. Is that what happened to my boy? Why didn't you bring him home? Such a good boy. Still thinking of me after all he's been through. I have to go to him. He needs me. Oh, he must be so frightened out there, so lonely. I thank you for what you've done. Even if you couldn't be bothered with more. Take this. It's my husband's masterwork, the first shield he smithed. I was saving it for Ruck, but I want you to have it. As my thanks.
Why does the bard stare at me so?
I was thinking of writing a song about you. The statue with the heart of gold. Or something like that.
It thinks my heart is made of gold. It is stone as anything else. Cold stone.
I meant that you had a good heart. It seems to me that you do.
And they call this having a heart of gold. Why?
Because gold is precious and shiny and a good heart is just as valuable.
Shiny.
In a manner of speaking.
My heart does not qualify as shiny. I kill, frequently, and not without pleasure.
You have had a difficult life. Deep down at the center of your being, you are a good person. I believe that.
Even though I have never demonstrated this aspect? How peculiar.
You aren't all stone shell. There is a person inside of you.
If so, it is because I ate him.
Here I am. Again? I'm game.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive? Of course.
Ask away. Of course. Such as they are. About ask away.
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why. Well, aren't you the paragon of sodding friendship? Did you want to talk about something? Aye. Pull up a drink, Warden. Join me in my sodding hole. Did you want to talk about something? You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. You're a monster on the field already, Warden, but your style just doesn't give itself to mad rage. Too much thinking, too much, finesse. But if you know someone fit for this type of work, I'll teach him. It'll be nice to have another berserker to grunt at for a change. What, you don't see me waist-deep in entrails every time I sodding step up to fight? I'll teach your warriors to be the best berserkers on the bleeding surface. Aye, all right then. Just leave me alone, Warden. Seriously. Upset? I don't get upset. I get drunk. Did you want to talk about something? What about? Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets. but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway. Let's get back to it. My fighting arm's twitching. What you need? What? Me leave? Are you serious? This isn't working out. It was foolish to think of someone like me on a heroic mission against an archdemon. I'm just, not sure where else to go. Can't really go back to Orzammar, and you're the only one I know on the surface. Maybe I can open a tavern. Well, good luck, Warden. Come find me, and we'll toast the archdemon when he's dead.
You called. As you wish.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. I am not a dwarf. Or at least, I'm not a dwarf any longer. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. There is another way. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is. Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find. I have a question for it, if it will indulge me. It chose to side with Caridin and destroy the Anvil of the Void. I agree with its decision, and yet the Paragon Branca was the reason it ventured into the Deep Roads. Why did it choose to defy her? It could not have known for certain that Caridin would be able to assist it with the dwarves. Truly. It seems a little mad itself. At any rate, I wanted to thank it. It gave Caridin the end he wanted, and I'm pleased to have been a part of it. I will have to think on Caridin's words to me. It was a great deal to absorb, but for now, let us go on. Oh, that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy. Oh, how adorable. Such hope is sweet to see, if a bit alarming. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert. Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes. Mostly they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I suspect it is, as Caridin said, something my former master did changed me. The thought that I'm unique, while smugly satisfying in its way, is also a bit daunting. The golems it has encountered, they were very different. And now there shall be no more. I suppose it is for the best. I don't know what kind of dwarf I was, but as a golem, I am superior in every way. So there is no loss, surely. So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting. Yes. It destroyed the Anvil of the Void. I would not have thought... It could just as easily have defied Caradon, I think. I feel I owe it. Enough that I'm willing to remain with it and assist in its crusade against the Darkspawn. Unless it wishes me to leave. No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling. It doesn't have better things to do. I like to think of them as accessories. I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me. Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more. Oh, how interesting. Certainly I remember having a master. My memories of what happened to him are vague. So some belabored description is now called for, is it? Oh, very well. My former master enjoyed experimenting upon me. I remember that much. There was tinkering with spells, and then the crystals. He was very eager to alter my function, I think. Flattery, and obvious flattery, too. I feel warm and fuzzy inside. He possessed my control rod, and back then, it would have prevented me from doing anything he did not command me to, no matter how I might have wished to. So what happened? I am unsure. He was experimenting, and then nothing. And then he was gone. I was standing where I was, in the village, and I could no longer move. The villagers came, poked and prodded me in fear, and then realized they could neither move me nor destroy me, so they simply left me. And in time I forgot I hadn't stood there all along. In fact, at first I found it more of a relief. For so many years I'd had to leap to that little toadstool's every command. Get this, pick up that, put it down, pick it up again. The gall! At first I'd hoped he'd simply decided to leave me there paralyzed, an acceptable trade-off. After years passed, I simply stopped caring. Frightened by the prospect, is it? It should be. Whatever the mage did seemed to render the control rod useless, for which I should be thankful, yes? And provided it doesn't decide to copy his experiments, not that I would allow it, it is nothing to fear from me. Much. The things that it fights, and it fights things often, that is a different story. Let us get back to the walking and the fighting. My stone is beginning to itch again. It doesn't have better things to do. Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum, snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it. I traveled with the mage. He did a lot of traveling, I remember that. But where we went, it is rather fuzzy. I remember great battles, fighting many humans long ago. They were all very soft and squishy. And before that, No, there are only images. I was somewhere dark. I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh. That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag. I was once larger, 10 feet tall. Then the loathsome hag complained that I couldn't fit through the doors. So the mage had me shrunk down. Can it believe it? And she still wanted me out. With a chisel and a lot of nerve. He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it? Hag. Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it? It doesn't have better things to do. I did not think it needed to be said. It has never told me what gender it is, has it? Good for it. I am sure that to other creatures as soft and weak as itself, that would be perfectly obvious. The truth is that whatever gender I was is irrelevant now. I am a golem. I have no gender. It will not become an issue. Good. Let us leave it at that. Now, let us crush something soft and watch it fountain blood. That is a girlish thing to want to do, yes? It doesn't have better things to do. That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away. I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. In short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference. It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser. Indeed, he had spells that allowed him to remain hidden and move quickly, but he had no defense against the blight and worried constantly that he would get sick. If any darkspawn showed themselves, he fled. More often, he would have to fight other scavengers, dwarves who had become tainted. In the end, it killed him. I mean, he found me there, right? I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there, not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that. No, that secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish. On then. It doesn't have better things to do. I do not sleep, so yes, and I thank it for reminding me. Try to imagine, if it will, what it would be like to be surrounded by nothing but boring peasants, all oblivious to it. Oh, yes. It certainly was the height of intrigue to listen to the accounts of how young Dornan had scandalized the village by his purchase of an Orlesian hat. And the argument that those two muddy farmers had over the price of barley for a whole summer. Riveting. And then there were the birds. A whole village full of pigeons and ravens and sparrows all perching on me day in and day out. Those foolish villagers would spread birdseed near me, drawing the birds, because they thought having birds perch on me was quaint. Quaint! If there hadn't been the occasional kind soul to scour me clean, I don't care to discuss this anymore. It doesn't have better things to do. That is true, I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff, or something. Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go. Refreshing. Normally such words would be accompanied by the wave of a control rod. I shall remain as it asks. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Enchantment?
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please, I'm sure.
Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium. Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium. Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium. Even the Templars will be impressed by the powers you will command.
We are better with every step you take.
On your order, Grey Warden. The Jarl was generous, but rushed. Sir, we're a mercenary force, Warden. Much of our equipment is...
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden. We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom.
The Templars of the Chantry stand ready, Grey Warden. There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Orzammar has sent her best, Warden. It has been a long time since the Dwarven army has marched on the surface. Outfitting any army on short notice, there's always room for more gear. Gems would serve the most utility, the Middlestone, sapphires and the like. We're dealing with many smaller foundries, and larger values might overwhelm.